Hello everyone, Mrs. Bats is back again, enjoying the rainy season, but not enjoying the mosquitoes. They enjoy me though, alright? I'm yummy. So, what does Blee's bat removal have to do with mosquitoes? Why are we even talking about mosquitoes? Well, as you know, we deal with bats, right? So I have noticed during climbing up in various attics, whether it's in a school or taking a Mayan tour or even in a person's personal home and attic, that there's a predominant species of bats that I come across a lot, right? And if you're taking the Mayan tour, you run across what we call, well, you guys call the star bat, I believe, but it's actually a Spix disc-winged bat, right here, and they are insect-eating bats. And then inside of the attics of schools and homes, we see a lot of the mastiff bats, right? Now those are also insectivores as well. They eat insects as well. And then I've also ran across the Jamaican fruit-eating bat, right? And there's many, many more here in Belize, but just with those three alone, those are the predominant ones I mainly run across. But what does a Jamaican fruit-eating bat got to do with mosquitoes? They eat fruit, right? So I'm going to tell you how all that works. So basically, with an insectivore, such as the Spix disc-winged bat, sorry, it's a mouthful, and also with the mastiff bats, they're insectivores. So they eat insects. They eat everything from like beetles, moths, frogs, lizards, you name it, like crickets, all that good fun stuff. And being that they eat those in one night alone, an average of one bat can eat up to 1,000 insects. So that really reduces the amount of mosquitoes. Another 1,000 mosquitoes for that one bat is not biting you, right? So that's why it's very important that we understand how bats work, because they're very important to not only our human health, but they're very important to the ecosystem, right? So to reduce that, we definitely want to make sure we conserve them. Now, the Jamaican fruit-eating bat, the reason why those are important is because, they actually eat seeds, and then when they, kind of use the bathroom, while they're flying around, those seeds come out in their feces, and it lands, and that's why sometimes we just have a fruit tree. It just pops up in our yard, and we don't even have that type of fruit tree anywhere near us, right? But what that does is it creates a whole nother habitat environment for bats to roost, because they roost under palm leaves and sometimes coconut trees or whatever. Like they go under leaves or wherever they can roost, right? If it's not in your attic. And what that does is it creates that environment so that things like the Spix disc-winged bat and the mastiff bats and things like that have a place to reside. Now, when you take the Mayan tours, I'm sure you'll see it as you're going down the river and everything, that, there's little bats, and they're really, really small, like really, really small. And they're usually a group of them, and you'll see them there. Well, those are insect-eating bats, right? And they need to be protected from the sun, which is the reason why they go up underneath palm leaves and rolled palm leaves and things of that nature. So, super, super important that we definitely preserve our bats. I know the mentality is just kill them. Well, that doesn't work. They'll just keep reproducing, smelling the guano and the urine, and continue to keep roosting. And we make it to where they cannot get into your home, but we also make sure that we preserve the life of the bats. They can't get in, but they can get out. So that way we could all coexist together, right? Because nobody wants to breathe in, the urine and the feces. The urine actually erodes through metal given enough time. So the urine alone it can be pretty damaging to your home. And the fecal matter can make you sick, right? So we definitely want to make sure that you, residing here in Belize and loving Belize, are in good health, and that's what we do. But we also, like I said, we preserve the bats. The bats are super important. So if you would like to see a decline in malaria and dengue without having to breathe in a chemical that's being sprayed, please heed my Miss Bats 101 education session right here, And just know that bats are super important. We provide bat houses, we do exclusions and make sure that the bats can get out, like I said, and we really make sure that they stay a part of our ecosystem. Now, the great thing is not only will they help with the dengue and the malaria and the yellow fever that is commonly known or that we're familiar with here in Belize, but they also help the farmers, right? So crickets and everything else are constantly tearing up crops. It's a really, big headache. It's expensive to get chemicals. It's dangerous to be having chemicals on your food. And, having a bat roost close by to your food source that you're currently growing can be very vital to the production of the food that you're consuming or selling to consume for others, as well as reducing, the insects that are being harmful to our environment in some way. So that's why bats are super important. So, rainy season, make sure the mosquitoes don't love you so much, right? Kind of hard to do. And definitely create a garden or a habitat that allows for the bats to roost, to eat your insects, save your crops, and keep you healthy. So let's dance for health.
Qué bueno que soy pie hacia la derecha, mamá, porque esta noche le daremos movimiento. Que 1, 2 tequilas solo pa' calentar. Mira que aquí estamos pa' disfrutar el momento. Show me what you got, oh baby, dance for me me das toda tu pasión y tu sudor, más vete lento. Que no tengo prisa, que esta noche da pa' más. Muévete cerquita aquí nomás. Baila, baila, hasta que me enamores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, probaré tus sabores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, enséñame tus colores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, al beat de mi corazón. Dame tu espalda y lentamente sentiré cómo me bailas. Muévete rico, que no hay palabras para describir cómo en mi cielo tú te empalmas. Mueve tus pies, que bien sabes que yo contigo desde el bungee sin arnés. Y al oído yo te diré que el dirty talk se nos vendrá hasta en inglés. Oh yes, oh, yes. Baila, baila, hasta que me enamores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, probaré tus sabores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, enséñame tus colores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, al beat de mi corazón. Calor y esta noche entera pintará de colores. Baby, tú me bailas y me llegan los temblores, porque con tus labios tú me das todos los sabores. Sabes que este mundo no es lo mismo sin tu amor. Dámelo todo, que yo lo acomodo. Dámelo el max, que el mío lo tendrás. Llenémonos de besos, que hoy somos traviesos en exceso. Baila, baila, hasta que me enamores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, probaré tus sabores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, enséñame tus colores, baby, tú. Baila, baila, al beat de mi corazón.